चीमा, ये आप मानते हैं, ये जो उन्होंने सवाल उठाया है, वो सवाल सारे पुलिस वाले भी उठा रहे थे और इन जनरल एनालिस्ट भी उठा रहे हैं कि अगर लिस्ट बनी थी इस तरह की कि उन लोगों पे सिक्योरिटी उन लोगों की विड्रॉ की जाएगी, तो वो पब्लिक डोमेन में लाने की क्या जरूरत थी? ये इसलिए लाया गया था क्योंकि योर गवर्नमेंट वांटेड टू टॉम के हम लोग वीआईपी सिक्योरिटी हटा रहे हैं।
देखिए, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है। ये सरकार ने कोई पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं लेके आया इसको कि किसकी सिक्योरिटी बेदरार हुई है या किसको मिल रही है। ये सरकार ने, गवर्नमेंट ने नहीं अनाउंस किया, ये हमारी तरफ से कोई अनाउंसमेंट नहीं थी। पर लेकिन मैं मानता हूं जिन लोगों ने सिद्धू मूसेवाला की हत्या की है, उनको हम पूरी तरीके से पूरे कानून के तहत सजा देंगे। और जो भी कोई होगा बड़े से बड़ा गैंगस्टर, जब इनकी सरकार थी पंजाब में बीजेपी और अकाली दल वालों की, इन्होंने कौन सा काम किया गैंगस्टरों के खिलाफ? जब पंजाब में कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार थी, कब इन्होंने कौन सा काम किया पंजाब में गैंगस्टरों के खिलाफ? एक भी गैंगस्टर को किसी भी मुकदमे में, जिन मुकदमों में उनका नाम आया था ड्यूरिंग द इन्वेस्टिगेशन, जिन केसों में ड्यूरिंग द इन्वेस्टिगेशन इन लॉरेंस का या और दूसरे जो गैंगस्टर है उनका नाम आया था, किसी एक को प्रोटेक्शन।
I'll go back to the politicians in just a bit. Let me get Mr. Pubby and also Shashikant ji. Mr. Shashikant,
just let me reply. Just give me
10 seconds you get.
Yes. Can you tell me whose Twitter was used to publish the list, Mr. Cheema? आपके केजरीवाल ने इसको बोला कि हमने इतने लोगों की लिस्ट है, ये रिड्यूस किया, हमने सिक्योरिटी दी थी, सिक्योरिटी वापस ली है।
देखिए, झूठ मत बोल के ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है। ये मीडिया के सेक्शन ने चलाया था पंजाब में। पंजाब सरकार के किसी ट्विटर हैंडल पे कहीं नहीं चलाया गया। झूठ मत बोलिए,
चेक योर ट्विटर,
प्लीज झूठ मत बोलिए मिस्टर।
प्लीज,
आपके कुछ चैनल ने चलाया था,
आप हमारे
कुछ चैनल ने चलाया था। बिल्कुल, हमने ऐसा कुछ नहीं किया है और ये कंस्पिरेसी बहुत रची जा रही थी।
Vipin Pubby, what is evident out of in this entire gang war which has played out is the larger nexus, which is perhaps difficult to crack down. How are they able to operate with impunity in a state like Punjab?
Well, Maria, I must say that you correctly pointed out that it has raised so many questions, and these need to be answered. At the same time, I would like to compliment also the Punjab police for cracking this case and taking in 7 of the 8 accused who were there. Only one of them is still at large, 2 have been killed, 5 others have been arrested. But I wish they had used the same inputs, same intelligence to avoid the tragedy of Moosewala being killed. As one of the speakers, I think that he was the Aam Aadmi Party spokesman, saying that we did not officially release the list, but it's a fact. In public, it was released. There were names of 400 people whose security had been withdrawn.
Okay, there seems to be some problem with that line. Mr. Shashikant, this has turned into a national security threat. Will we see central agencies also intervene to crack down on these criminal syndicates which have almost like a pan-India presence? The fact that Goldie Brar was operating from a jail, Lawrence Bishnoi was operating from Tihar jail.
Yeah, of course. I think that I'm sure that the national security agencies must have been involved in the task in one way or the other. And the guy, this Lawrence Bishnoi, he was sitting in Tihar jail. He was very safe there, and he had all the time to check out the entire plan in detail, absolute detail, and get it implemented also. And what shocks me most is that this guy was in touch with his roots in Canada, this Goldie guy. And another thing that I see, which to my mind is very sinister, is that these 2 guys who have been killed today, they didn't belong to the Bishnoi gang. They belong to the Bhuvanpuria gang. Does it mean that there is this different gangs, Punjab, they're joining and shaking hands with each other? I find that to be very, very sinister development.
Yes, and that kind of, multiple gangs which are operating. Vipin Pubby, you wanted to make your point. Please go ahead before we lost that connection with you.
Yes. Yeah, I really, I just lost that. And the thing is that, the place where they have been caught, it's just about 6 kilometers from Indo-Pak border.
Yes.
And, one is still not sure, because investigation will prove whether they had gone there to receive arms and ammunition and more weapons. Mainly these are being sent through drone these days, or whether they were wanting to flee into Pakistan, because there are a lot of sympathizers and also Khalistani supporters who are residing in Pakistan, and Pakistan has a vested interest in creating trouble here. So 6 kilometers from the border, it's significant. So investigations would need to find out whether they had gone there to receive more arms and ammunition, or whether they were trying to flee into Pakistan.
Yes. So there are multiple angles to it. While we know about the Canada angle and the entire extortion racket which was functioning here, also Mr. Shashikant, what does it say about Punjab police in general and the entire function?
Well, as far as Punjab police is concerned, I think, look, this was a very carefully chalked out plan. Proper red herring was used. These two guys who were eliminated today, they were sitting somewhere in Punjab, and other of these persons, there was rumor, there were news that somebody was sighted and seen in Uttarakhand, somebody in Haryana, somebody in Delhi, Gujarat, Maharashtra. It was a very careful ploy. They used red herring, and these persons were sitting very safely here in Punjab. And I agree with Mr. Pubby, but my own doubts whether they could flee from India to Pakistan, because they've got barbed wire there. In case there's a tunnel, I don't know. But I'm sure that if that's not the reason, they were waiting for some consignment of arms and explosives, etc., so that they could indulge in more of the heinous acts there in Amritsar district.
Mr. Sarin, the Jammu and Kashmir police have recently cited a rise in drone